Life can change in an instant. For many wheelchair users, the struggle to push forward is a daily challenge.
After years of development and countless prototypes, we created Rib Grips, the revolutionary wheelchair hand rim covers with built-in ribs for ultimate grip and comfort.
No more slick surfaces, no more heat burns, just pure, reliable grip. Rib Grips, empowering you to push forward with ease. Rib Grips, get a grip on your freedom. Discover the difference. Visit ribgrips.com and use promo code GRIP today. You just found the perfect product that helps with staying cool during hot summer runs. No more gross warm water. Stay cool with this product from Gear Handle. This hydration tube cover helps keep your water cool and easily accessible. Stay hydrated during those long summer runs or even delay from freezing in the winter. Plus, they're compatible with various brands of water bladders and come in various colors. Visit gearhandle.com and use promo code H2O today.
Hey everyone, you're listening to The Public Affair with me, Andrew G. I see someone different every episode, but do me a favor, keep it between us. Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Andrew G, and welcome to episode 44 of my podcast, The Public Affair. I'm really happy that we're on 44 episodes of the show. You guys are the greatest for all your support. Of course, thank you to my producer, Mike Hamilton at Rogue Media Network, for helping make this podcast super lit. And of course, thank you guys to all my viewers, all my followers, everybody. You guys are the greatest, so thank you again so much. I couldn't be any more thankful. If you're new to the channel, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. YouTube.com/ThePublicAffair. It's just right there. Just click the subscribe button real quick. It's nothing. Before we get started, I definitely want to give a shout out to a few of our sponsors of The Public Affair. This episode is brought to you by Arjon Painting with my boy Juan Arjon. He's a family-owned local paint company that specializes in residential homes, both interior and exterior. He offers the best quality guaranteed, so if you need your home painted, make sure you call my boy Juan Arjon with Arjon Painting on the number on the screen. Of course, to B&J Refinishing with Frank Baiza, episode out right now. I love me some Frank. He focuses on resurfacing bathtubs, counters, sinks, tiles, and more to original showroom quality. 5-year warranty on most work and has the best prices in town. And Frank doesn't stop there because he also has Co-Town Tint, which is a mobile tint and detailing business, offers the best high quality film and products, and will be all competitor prices. Frank definitely is a businessman. I love me some Frank. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode. Of course, to Boyo Box and Audio with Jeffrey Monreal, who just let me know he got me auto start for my car. I can't wait to install it. He focuses on installation of stereos, door speakers, and audio systems. He also specializes in building custom subwoofer enclosures and much more. He's a jack of all trades, and I love me some Jeffrey. Thank you so much. To David Santabana, is the #1 sales agent in his office at Alinea Real Estate. He'll help you buy a home or sell your home. Make sure you follow him on Facebook at David with Alinea, or call the number on the screen, darling, for all your real estate needs. Love me some David. Of course, the Four Brothers Constructions with Joe Olvera. He provides custom home designs and renovations. He also focuses on plumbing, roofing, tree removal, electrical work, and so much more. Make sure you call the number on the screen for all those services. Joe, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode. And to one of my new sponsors, Miss Kaylin Flores with Dollhouse Aesthetics and Beauty. Kaylin and the girls offer a full-service salon with body contouring, lashes, eyebrows, makeup, hair, and more. It's truly a premier beauty salon. Call the number on the screen or follow them on social media for more info. Kaylin, thank you so much. She's also a boss woman. Love me some Kaylin. I got to talk to her the other day. She also has Elevate here in Waco. They're actually located on Robinson Drive. They're Waco's newest premier shop, and they sell nothing but the best. Elevate is proud to bring you all of one-of-a-kind attire and the most exotic merchandise on the market. They have barbecue-flavored Doritos, which I so got to get on. They guarantee all gas and no breaks. Make sure you check them out on Facebook and Instagram for more information. Kaylin, thank you so much for sponsoring. One of my new sponsors. Love you, girl. More to come later. All right, guys, so I'm really excited about this episode. You guys know I like to throw things a little bit different every once in a while. I got to meet this guy on social media some months ago, and he's kind of hinted at me that he wanted to come on the show, and we had to go through all these like little things to get him on the show, and he even brought his own notebook full of questions for me, I guess, or things that we need to go over. I definitely want to welcome Mr., if I get this wrong, you have to correct me, Waco's #1 Army recruiter, Sergeant Jose Soto, is that correct?
It's Sergeant First Class.
Sergeant First Class.
You
Jose
can just call
Soto.
me Soto for short.
Can I just call you Jose or Soto?
People call me Jose.
Just
People
not
call me
Daddy,
Soto.
right?
No, not Daddy.
Well, thank you for coming on the show. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, how are you feeling about coming on the show?
Good.
And different. I don't know. You seemed excited over this. Don't be acting all shy now, okay?
Bring that same energy.
Yeah.
No, I mean I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah. Well, I just like to do different things on the show, and I was like, I haven't had an Army recruit or anybody who was in the military, so why not Mr. Soto, who follows The Public Affair? From what I understand, you've watched every episode, and you always given your little critique. One of the episodes that I would like to go back and talk about was episode 10, when you reached out to me when I had Sid the Barber on here, because we spoke briefly about the military, and I just like to do favorite things. Yeah, well, there's somebody from the Army on the show. What's up?
Yeah. So I mean, whenever I saw that show, it kind of spoke to me because I mean, Sid used to cut my hair a long time ago.
Yeah.
I think it was like pre-COVID. He cut my hair a couple of times.
Yeah.
And me and him talked a couple of times as well.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, I should ask him if he wants me on the show.
Well, I will say that Sid did tell me, I think Jose Soto would be really good for the show. Like, and Sid never lets me down when it comes to the references. So, every time Sid refers somebody, ends up being like one of my most biggest episodes. So shout out to Sid. I love me some Sid. But, thank you again for coming on the show. Again, I like to just switch it up a little bit. And we're going to get to your notebook here in a minute because I want to see what you got written down for me. But before we start, why don't you introduce yourself for people who may not know who you are?
Okay. So I'm one of the recruiters here in Waco, Texas. I've been here for about 2.5, almost 9 months now. So 2 and 9 months.
Okay.
I originally came from Fort Hood.
Yeah.
So my background.
Yeah.
I originally joined the Army back in 2010.
Okay.
So I've been in for 10 years. The main reason why I joined was because I went to school and at the end of the school, once I finished school, I accrued a lot of student loans.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, mind you, before I even thought about it, during high school, recruiters would walk into the classroom and I'd be like, "F that, I'm never doing that."
Oh yeah,
you know. And I mean, I come from a Hispanic family, like I'm first generation too. So whenever recruiters would walk in, I'd tell my parents, they'd be like, "That's local,"
Yeah.
And then. So I didn't think the Army.
So you weren't even gonna join the Army.
No,
You're just like F that. Like,
that was never like one of my thoughts that came to mind.
Right.
6 months after I graduated from the university that I went to, I got my first bill, and it was like way more than I was expecting for it to be.
Do people even pay those though? Do you guys pay student loans?
So like I was super naive during the time that I was going to school, and that's part of the reason why I got myself in that predicament.
Yeah,
but I honestly didn't think I even had to pay that back. That was that naive.
Yeah, that's what. Who pays student loans? It's like your hospital bills. You pay your hospital, but I don't.
Well, see, there's a difference between hospital bills and student loans, though, because student loans they can garnish your wages if you don't pay student loans, and that's what I didn't know. Yeah. So I didn't pay them for like a good year.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, got you.
And on the year mark, I went to go pick up my check from the place that I was working at.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody looks at their check when they pick it up.
Right.
I looked at it and my check was missing like $400. I'm like,
shit! Oh, they were taking from your check?
Yeah, they started garnishing my wages.
Oh,
yeah. So at that point, I was like, what do I do? Yeah. So that same night, I was like,
$400
a month.
Damn, they couldn't call you, be like, yo, but what about 20?
Well, they did. So they did call me.
They
had been calling me. But I kept on,
treating it like a side piece, huh?
Yeah. So I kept on
can't call me during the day.
They would send me letters and everything. I would just tear them up, not even look at them.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, mind you, I ruined my credit that whole year.
Oh, okay.
So the very first thing I did that night was I went on Google and I typed in how to get rid of student loans because I thought it was like I thought I could get rid of them like super easily.
Yeah.
And I couldn't.
Nah.
So the first thing that came up was join the military, and I was like, well, let me go talk to recruiters.
I mean, I guess. Yeah.
I went to talk to recruiters the very next day.
Right.
And the Army was the only branch that actually offered the student loan repayment program.
Oh, do they? Okay, got you.
So he said, we'll pay off your student loans, like entire student loans.
If you join, or you have to be in there for so long?
After 3 years of service.
Okay, 3 years.
But I mean, to me, 3 years versus 20 years of paying $400 a month.
I mean, yeah.
That was...
You'll die before you even, because you'll be so stressed out from paying it. You're like, screw that.
On one of the papers that I actually read before I started tearing them up, it said $400, and then the end of it would be like 2032 or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, hell no.
And I was like, am I even going to be alive during that time? So yeah.
Days, yeah.
He said 3 years. He said 3 years, and I was like, bet, let's do it. So
okay. So then that's how you ultimately okay. So did you basically join the Army basically to get and we'll get further into it here in a second. But the majority of the reason was to pay off those student loans that were just kicking your ass. Yeah, they had you bent over. And so so you know what I kind of want to talk about a little bit before we continue with that booking you on the show. I have never had to go through such a process to book somebody on the show. So first. What is it? First
you
class?
You can just call me Soto.
Okay, Soto, Jose Soto. we talked about it on the phone. He was like, "Oh, are you inviting me on the show?" I was like, yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool, whatever. And then he said, "We have to talk to this guy who he made it very clear was not his boss." I thought you were gonna kick my ass over the phone. I was like, "Come on, Soto, stop this." And so I had to talk to a public affairs guy, which I thought was so appropriate because this is the public affair, right? And so I was at work when I took the call, and we had to it was like, you can't talk about this. What are you gonna talk to him about? And I was like, I mean, the majority of the reason why I'm inviting him on the show is because he's like cute to look at. Like we're not gonna talk about anything political like the president or anything, I promise, And I just thought it was so cute that we had to go through like this whole process. And then the guy was like, "Can I see the episode?" I was like, "No." You can see it when everybody else gets it. Okay. Listen, nobody runs me on my show. All right. Yeah. But he was very nice. I think he low-key wanted to be with me. I'm not gonna lie. What was his name? We can't say.
Yeah, I can't say.
I think you want to sleep with me.
If this is gonna be on YouTube, we can't say.
Okay, yeah, it's definitely gonna be on YouTube. Sorry about that. Anyway, and then again, reaching out. You reached out to me to be on the show, which is kind of like what a lot of people reach out to me to be on the show, right? A lot of people are interesting. Some people are like, "But what are you doing?" You know what I mean? Like, I'm kind of at this point now where I can't just invite anybody on the show. You have to be doing shit. We mentioned earlier that the majority of the reason why you wanted to be on the show is because you watched episode 10 with Sid. Was there any misconceptions that you wanted to address on that episode? Because we spoke briefly about the Army, and I spoke about my experience with the recruiter, which I was in high school, so mind you, okay? The recruiter was cute, and he told me that if you join the Army, you just go overseas and play Xbox, which I thought was a recruiting tactic for him. I thought he was gonna sold me with that. You know what I mean? So what do you have to say about that? Because it sounded like you wanted to get it off your chest for quite a few months now.
So like I said, once again, thank you for having me.
Of course.
But I mean, Sid kept it real. I mean, and numerous times that he cut my hair, pretty much all we talked about was his experience and what he got out of joining the military.
Yeah.
And that's part of what, like, the reason why I wanted to come on.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't necessarily think of the benefits that come after you get out.
Right.
So Sid, I think, only did 3 or 4 years, but he has greatly benefited from the military, the Army specifically, because I'm sure he got the VA loan. I'm sure that he went to barber school for free. I think he also went somewhere else. School wise, with the benefits that he got while he was in.
I don't know, but I know Sid's a boss.
So that's what I'm saying. So
Sid's a boss.
Sid is the example of what we actually tell some of these kids now. To use the Army as a stepping stone to get them where they need to be later on in life. A lot of people think of the Army, like the misconceptions of the Army is, I'm going to join the Army and I'm going to die. And that's one of the first things that my parents thought about too.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, whenever I told my mom, I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna join the Army."
Yeah.
She was like, "Estás pinche loco," and I was like, "No, I'm not."
Yeah.
I was like, "I'm trying to, get my student loans paid for."
Right.
And then on top of that, obviously, I'm gonna get a paycheck.
Yeah. I mean, are you gonna pay for them, Mom? Like, let's be real.
Well, I mean, throughout the entire time that I was growing up, my parents always told me, "We want you to go to college," but they never said, "We're gonna pay for you to go to college."
Right. They just want you to go.
Yeah. And being first generation. To me, in my eyes, I was kind of setting the groundwork for all my, cousins, and younger cousins, stuff like that. And now my parents are like big influencers for myself.
Oh, okay.
They'll tell my cousins, "Hey, you should
join the Army."
Yeah.
So you don't just go overseas and play Xbox all day.
So me personally, I've only been overseas once.
Oh, really?
I've been to Afghanistan one time, and then if you count Korea and also Germany, I've been there too. There's guys in the office that I've never deployed though.
Really?
And they've been in for just as long as I have.
And they don't play Xbox all day. Now, here's the thing. I'm trying to join the Army. I'm trying to join the Army.
Okay.
And then I want to play PlayStation 5 all day because I can't get my hands on one now.
Okay.
And then I really think I'm going to meet my man in the Army. Like, I couldn't meet him over the border. I couldn't meet him in Mexico. So I think if I join the Army, right? It's a whole thing. I thought about it last night. I think if I join the Army and I go overseas to a different country, I don't have to deal with none of the bum losers that live here in America.
For sure.
I can get me a man in Japan. You know what I mean? And never come back. What do you think?
I don't know about meeting a man in Japan.
I'm sure they would love a nice Army piece like me.
I mean, I'm not gonna front either. I have a lot of gay friends.
Yeah.
Too. And
did they
the
find
Army?
their man?
Say again?
Did they find their man in the Army?
Well, no. But all the people that I have that are friends of mine.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people. There's a lot of misconception with that too. You know, that gays are treated differently because of whatever reason. And it's not the case. The Army has EO policies, which is equal opportunities. The Army has SHARP policies, which is sexual harassment and assault response programs.
Oh, wow.
So pretty much anything that you can think of, it's all inclusive for all.
Right. I would think this day and age too, maybe, again, I'm not naive to what goes on. Like, I really don't like to be political about things like this. But I would think these days, now that it's more accepting to be that way, that they would, God, is it horrible to say that maybe they don't get treated as bad these days than they did in the past, or if they perceive they got treated in the past, you know what I mean?
Everybody gets treated equally.
Everybody gets treated equally, okay. But you can't be no punk in the Army, huh? Because they make you work out and stuff like boot camp, and it's like...
You got to think of it as you're getting paid to work out.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so it's like a job.
Yeah.
So don't bitch, do your job. That's all it is. And let me tell you something. I'm Soto strong now, so I could join the Army. Let me tell you, everybody, I could join the Army. Yeah.
I see. I mean, from episode 1 all the way to now, you can definitely see the difference.
Thank you.
For sure.
I look hotter, right?
You look a lot thinner.
I look hotter. Everybody's in my DMs now. Okay. I can't keep a man, but they're in my DMs. And I want to talk about the deployment process. Do you get to pick where you get to go, kind of, or how does that work?
So your very first unit, they're gonna give you the option. It's like a wish list, and depending on if the Army needs you in those 3 places that you put down.
The wish list, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
No, so like the 3 places that you put down, they'll be like, hey, what places do you want to go to? If any of those 3 that you want to go to are actually available, they'll put you there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what were your 3 places?
My 3 places were Korea, Fort Hood, or Fort Bliss, because I was trying to stay in Texas. Because you have to pick one overseas one. Right. And I ended up getting Korea. So my very first year in the Army was in Korea.
Were you happy?
No, not really.
Why?
Because, so that's another thing too. The one thing that I would say that sucks about the Army, the only thing that sucks, in my opinion, is just being away from family. So...
I'm away from my family now anyway. It'd be all right.
So like that's the only part, because like growing up in a Hispanic household with 20, 30 different cousins, kind of makes it to where you're always wanting to see them, every weekend, like a barbecue. And that's the one thing that I miss the most, just family.
But you could have had your own family in Korea. Could you imagine half Mexican, half Korean babies?
So I actually went to Korea with my first daughter in my baby mama's stomach already.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you got to take her with you?
No, you can't. You can't take them with you.
So how did that? Oh, wait. So she was here pregnant, correct? And you had to be deployed. Why couldn't you take her with you? Do you have to be married for that, or?
So the process. Okay. I don't remember specifically the name of the actual process.
Right.
And you have to submit a packet basically saying, hey, your family's going to come with me.
Right.
And then you don't stay in the barracks, which the barracks is basically like a apartment for yourself.
Okay.
You would stay off post.
Yeah.
Outside of the actual Korean national post.
Yeah.
And so you live among the populace.
Yeah.
But if you bring your family, it's 2 years instead of 1. And to me, I wanted to come back, so I was like, I'll live with being alone for 1 year versus bringing them.
So were you still in a relationship with her when you went to Korea?
I was.
Because I was gonna ask a follow-up question, but I don't want to get you in trouble.
I mean,
did you meet any hot Korean women?
There was a lot of her. Yes.
Yes.
But, there's a lot of diversity. I actually met like a bunch of Mexicans over there.
Did you really? In Korea?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like what it was, they were there as teachers.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I think about my wish list now, and I think a lot of people always put like exotic locations. I don't know if I would want to go to Hawaii, because Hawaii is really expensive. Like everything that you buy there is very expensive because it has to be imported.
It is expensive, but if you do end up going to Hawaii, we get a thing called COLA, which is basically pays the difference for
like what it costs here versus
the
over
cost
there?
of living. Yeah.
Oh, okay, got you. No, but still, like that's what
it is. Cost of living allowance.
I would definitely want to go to Japan, Korea, somewhere like Spain. Spain's not an option. Germany.
Italy's an option.
Italy. Yeah.
You have to jump out of planes for that one though.
Oh, do you really? Yeah. I don't know about all that. I just want to meet my man over there so he can feed me pasta.
I'm the same way. I
wouldn't jump out of planes. Hey, so what was it like when you first joined though? Like, what was your experience? Like, were you scared? Because you said that there's a lot of misconceptions. Okay, and then I think a lot of people are nervous about being deployed, and then a lot of families are nervous because their family members might pass away, which that has been the case, unfortunately, for some people. And is that just something that you sign up for, or like what was your mind thought when you were like, okay, I'm doing this for real?
I mean, I don't know. I guess to me, getting my student loans
right.
paid for was worth it. And initially when I joined, it was kind of tapering down. Like the big war was kind of tapering down, but I was still expected to,
right,
go over there.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily know. It's kind of like a crapshoot. Like,
okay,
it all depends on what unit you're assigned to.
Right.
So if you're assigned to a certain unit that is deploying soon,
yeah,
then you're gonna deploy with that unit.
Yeah.
But you don't know if that unit's deploying or not. So it's kind of like a crapshoot. But initially, yeah, I mean, there's that there's nervousness with everything,
right?
Because
especially getting deployed.
At the end of the day, you're basically going from you're stepping into the unknown,
right?
But now, I mean, 10 years later, I wouldn't take anything back,
really,
at all. Yeah.
Okay, so you were in there for 10 years, and now you're just recruiting. Is that what's going on? Okay.
Recruiting is a DA selected position. So well, there's two different. You can drop a volunteer packet and say, hey, I want to volunteer to recruit.
Yeah. Or
you can get DA selected, which is Department of the Army selected.
Oh, okay.
And it's kind of like, if you get DA selected, you're kind of voluntold. I was DA selected.
Yeah.
So as long as you meet certain criteria, you get selected, and then you come out to a certain community of your choice. Not your choice, more.
Right.
But you do it for 3 years. Yeah. At the end of those 3 years, you go back to regular Army.
I got you. Can we talk about combat? I kind of want to know like where your mind is at when that's happening. Have you ever been in combat?
So I'm in a support MOS. What that means is I support the combat people.
Like medics, kind of. The people that like.
Well, they're support as well, but I'm more of a logistical support. So like, all I did when I was in Afghanistan was I was in charge of a Class 1 yard, which is ordering food, receiving food.
Ooh. I want that job. Come here, boys.
So ordering food and then dispersing it as well.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
So I was more I was ordering upwards of like $1 million worth of food at a time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But now, is it per their request though, or are they like, well, I want McDonald's and then I want Burger King, or is it like, no, we're getting Salisbury steak, like we're getting Hungry Man?
It's not like that at all. No, I mean, so like you just have to make sure that you maintain the amount of food that you need.
Yeah.
So every month I would get like a log of how many people were on post.
Yeah.
And we would look at the numbers to see how many people were actually coming through the line. Every Friday though, for sure, it was steak and lobster though.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine?
Every Friday.
Well, you lived it, so.
And it's unlimited too, so.
How do you not gain weight? Well, I guess Afghanistan's hot as fuck. Like,
it's comparable to Texas,
right?
Though.
So, but you've never been in like real live action combat, like I mean,
no,
like where you had to like kind of shoot somebody.
No, I didn't shoot anybody, but I was
shot
in some stuff.
Yeah, no, okay, and I know you probably either don't want to talk about it because I have a friend, shout out to Manny, who was in the Army as well, and I not to put his business out there, but he went through some things too that kind of like messed him up mentally. But he's really normal, you know what I mean? Like he's cool. Like you would never know unless he told you. You know what I mean? Like he's cool as F. But I always want, like, he's talked a little bit about the combat and stuff like that, and like like what are they called, mortars or bombs?
Mortars,
or mortars? Okay, and like how one day he was on the phone with his wife, and then all of a sudden is this plane that and and then they have to like take cover or whatever the case is, and then if you're being shot at, you shot. Like I always just wondered because I'm pussy, right? Like so I can't be in combat. There's just no way. I need to be what you were doing, like the support. Like, come on, boys, steak and lobster. Let's, whatever.
Yeah.
So I always wonder what went through somebody's mind when that was happening. You know what I mean? And I know that it's probably a touchy subject for a lot of people too that deal with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just big ups to everybody who is brave enough to do that, because I'll be in the corner like, let me know when y'all done, because I don't know.
I mean, honestly, and I mean, I hopefully I don't sound too, what's the word? Dark.
Okay. Get everybody depressed and shit.
If it's your time, it's your time.
Oh wow.
That's kind of how I looked at it. That because if not, you're gonna sit there and you're gonna be like super anxious.
Do they train you for stuff like that though, like to be in combat? Or?
So during basic training, you do go through some stuff like that. Like you go through training.
Is it like virtual reality?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Like, 2021. I thought we were.
No.
You know what I mean?
So no, you go through. I forgot what the actual name of it, but you go through a night where like people they're shooting over your head and you're having to low crawl. I think it's like 100 meters.
Oh wow.
You throw a grenade, and then that way you get the experience.
Yeah, I'd be the main one over there fucking up. Like, okay, like
but there were some of my peers. They didn't know how to throw.
Okay.
Like, period. And they were like, there was one guy that he went to throw it and it went back this way.
Yeah.
And it fell inside the actual little box.
Oh my gosh.
The drill sergeant had to quickly grab it and throw it.
Yeah.
And,
what's the time frame for it to detonate?
I think it's like 5.
Oh hell no! I would have been shitting my pants. No.
5 to 10 seconds. Yeah.
Oh hell no.
But yeah, so he grabbed it, chunked it, and there's like little peepholes that you can look through to see what's going on.
Yeah.
And I just so happened to be in the peephole and I saw that happened. I was like, oh shit.
Oh yeah. Could you imagine how much trouble that guy would have been in if it would have detonated right there? Like,
well, he probably wouldn't have survived it. Yeah.
Oh no! I mean that was stupid, Andrew. God damn it! You know, we play Call of Duty, and they put you in a gulag when you die. Is there such thing as a gulag?
No.
Okay, that's just for the game. That just gave me nightmares.
No,
I'm not gonna lie.
The army trains you.
Hear me out there. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? That shit was scary. I was like shitting my pants when I was in the gulag. I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah. He said, "Is there a gulag in real life?"
I was like, "What the hell?" Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So I mean, the army trains you and gets you to that point where you know what to do in certain situations.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I would die. Like it was just scary. It was like a locker or whatever. Okay. I think that's very, big ups to everybody who ever wants to join the military. I always thought like it would be cool. A lot of people say I wouldn't be able to make it, right? But everybody thinks I am kind of pussy, but I'm not that pussy, right? And so I could totally do it. Like I ain't no bitch either. Like I don't cry. I cry at Soto on my own time. You know what I mean? When it comes to the basic training and
stuff. You're talking about like during the time that you're working out? Or?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Sometimes Dominic, shout out to Dominic, like I really want to sit there and fucking cry because it's so hard. But I really think that I can survive the basic training and such. You know what I mean?
It's not that hard. They recently they changed up how basic training is actually done now.
Okay.
So the reason why they changed it is because they want to be more comparable to how we are. So like, I mean, I build friendships with the people that I put in.
Yeah.
To the point where, I mean, like I say this all the time on Instagram.
Yeah.
Everybody that I put in gets treated like family.
Okay, got you.
So like if they were to go somewhere else, my family.
Yeah.
If they were to go to a recruiting station, for example, in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
I would expect that recruiter to treat my cousin's brother the same way I'm treating people here in Waco, you know?
And I want everybody to know, too, I knew that there was no such thing as a gulag. I just wanted to throw you off, okay? I don't want everybody to think I'm some fucking idiot. Like, I knew that they don't throw you in a gulag and whoever survives goes back out in combat. Like, it's just in the game, okay? I don't want everybody attacking me later, right?
Yeah. Real life is definitely not the same as...
No, of course not. That's Call of Duty.
Call of Duty,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. What are some of your recruiting tactics when you are recruiting people to be in the military? Because I see that you're very big on TikTok, which I do not have. And everybody says that I should get TikTok, and I don't want to because I'm like one of those people that when something's popping, it turns me off. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, oh, that's what everybody's doing. I don't want to do that. Like, I know that sounds really stupid, but yeah.
I just wanted, so I actually started TikTok almost a year ago.
Okay.
The only reason I started it was because I wanted to be on the same platform that some of the kids were doing.
Yeah.
Because if not, you're going to be, so I mean, the army, recruiting is big on phone calls.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, phone calls don't work.
Okay.
Mainly because some of the reasons are, if I call a number, it's 9 times out of 10 going to be the parent's number.
Oh yeah. And then the parents answer right away, like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah, the mom, usually, I mean, here in Waco, especially, like, the parents will
like,
be
my son's not gonna do that.
Oh, in Spanish, but yeah.
Okay.
They'll be like, no, my son's not interested in Spanish.
Yeah. You can say it in Spanish. We have a lot of Spanish viewers. I want to do a whole episode that's Spanish speaking one day. I do.
I mean, I'm down.
You down? Okay.
But yeah, I mean, 9 times out of 10 is the parents.
Okay.
They won't answer.
Right.
Or
so how would you attract me to be in the military? Like if I'm jobless and I don't have the public affair anymore, right? Because and so I'm just like, damn, I really get. First of all, what's the age cutoff?
34.
Okay, I'm a young 29. So if I'm just sitting there like, damn, I have no job, the public affair failed, what should I do now? And how do I look at you on social media and say, okay, I'm gonna be in the army now or the military, whatever?
So I mean, for the most part, my bread and butter is just talking to people face to face.
Yeah. You said bread and butter. I just had ideas.
the TikTok and the stuff that I post on Instagram is just to keep you interested in and possibly, it's just to let people know that I'm a regular human being.
Yeah.
Just like everybody else. I'm not a robot that's run by the army.
Yeah.
But I mean, talking to you firsthand, I'd be like, hey, what are you doing right now?
Yeah.
And then you tell me, hey, well, I'm jobless. And I'd be like, oh, really? Well, the army can start you off at, $1,700 a month plus an apartment plus food plus healthcare plus dental plus all the stuff that's free.
You know, I have a question. I have a family member who was, I believe, in the Army. I don't want to put his business out there because I love him. But I think you can get discharged, right? There's honorably discharged and dishonorably discharged. I don't think that why are you writing shit down?
Exactly. That's one of the things.
Was that one of the things?
Yeah.
Nobody's, anyway. So it doesn't look like he's benefiting from the Army because so I would like to what happens there? Like how do you get kicked out of the Army and they're just like fuck you, leave?
So
like
they're not necessarily F you, leave.
Okay.
The Army is all about like let's just say for example you decide you want to go smoke weed.
Okay.
Right? The Army will rehabilitate you to not smoking weed.
Okay.
And then they'll kick you out. Now with that being said, from day one you already know you're not supposed to be smoking.
Right.
So it's kind of like a unwritten rule that obviously you're not supposed to smoke.
Yeah.
So when they do rehabilitate you, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna get your benefits taken away.
Oh wow. That's not even worth it. Like,
but maybe
I want my cola. Like,
if you're doing bad stuff, you can't expect
good things.
Yeah,
yes, absolutely. I agree with you.
So like, there's a lot of people that are like, F the Army, F the military. And they've been in, right?
Right.
They get out and they're like, man, F the Army, F this. But 9 times out of 10, those were the people that were doing something they weren't supposed to.
Something they had no business doing.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
got you.
So they get kicked out, and now they're kind of like mad that, they got their benefits.
Well, those are just people that don't take accountability for their actions. There's lots of people that in this world that are like that, and I've had my fair share of experiences.
There's a lot of people actually.
Yeah, exactly, and it's so unfortunate because like you act like it's everybody else's fault that you couldn't get ahead in life, and I feel like joining the military, especially for somebody who was troubled, that like if what you're saying is true and they're providing you a way out, and they're giving you the resources to be out, why you fuck that up?
Yeah,
like I don't understand that. Like
I'm not saying specifically here in Waco, but I mean as of lately. I see the news. I mean, I follow the news.
Yeah,
there's shootings all the times here in Waco. I mean, I'm from Arlington, which isn't any different. But the gang violence, the gun violence, the drugs, all that stuff. I mean, if I can get you out of here and help you out, why not take advantage?
Why you can't? Yeah, exactly. And like I don't know. Anyway, but I have a brother who my only brother went to, what is it, Gary Job Corps? Is that kind of like military-ish, or it's like a boarding school? I don't know what it is. Like a school that you go to when you can't go to regular school, or when you drop out of regular school, so they put you on Job Corps to learn a trade.
Like okay,
okay. So he got kicked out of Job Corps when we were teenagers. I was a senior in high school at the time, and they said because he was selling cigarettes. Like, why were you selling cigarettes, you idiot? What were they, 2 for $1? Like, who does that? You know what I mean? And then met his wife, And then he met his wife. I almost let the kids watch the show. And so I don't know why they watch the show, but they watch the show. I love my niece and nephew. But, like, I don't understand when people do, like, if I was in the Army, I wouldn't, I see the benefits that some people get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I see like how some of them, they become comfortable. Let me rephrase that. Go ahead.
Oh, that's me right there.
Oh, okay. So would you say that you're comfortable now because of the benefits of the Army? But what, like, because I was gonna say, what about the people, like, now the Army's paying for you to live in a home, but what about the long-term repercussions of like PTSD and stuff like that?
So I mean, I think that has a lot to do with how mentally strong you are too.
Okay.
If you're not mentally strong, then I mean that stuff's gonna I mean, I have like relapses every now and then too.
Okay.
Where
do you suffer from that? Can I ask? Or not suffer, but have you experienced?
I have like slight PTSD.
Slight PTSD.
It's not
okay.
like, it's not like debilitating or anything like that. Where like I can function perfectly fine.
Right.
I mean, everybody has days but I mean, to be completely honest, you can get PTSD from anything.
Yeah,
like
true.
You can get into a wreck outside and you can get PTSD from that.
Yes, you can.
So I mean, I would say that the benefits that I've gained from being in for this long outweigh anything else.
Really?
Yeah.
So should I join the Army is what you're saying? Do you recruit just for the Army?
Just for the Army, yeah.
Okay, so is there, I guess there's recruiters for like the Marines and the Air Force and all that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The Army's the best branch though, so.
Is it? Oh.
Yeah.
Listen, please don't get me beat up on my show.
It is.
I think all military are hot.
So the Army is the only branch that'll let you pick your job.
Okay.
The Army is the only branch that has the fastest promotions that we do.
Yeah.
And then the Army is also the branch that has as many duty stations.
Listen, if the Army's going to send me to Japan where I can meet my man, I'm in. Okay, I'm in.
I can't promise you that.
No, well, if you're not going to promise me that, then I'm out. Okay, I want to live next to the Pokemon Center in Japan, and I want my man to be working there.
There's a thing.
There is a thing. I swear to God. Yeah. There's a whole Pokemon Center store. It's all Pokemon. You know, I'm a Pokemon whore. I love it. I kind of want to get into your notebook here because you have a notebook of lots of shit written down. I'm kind of like, I've been trying to decipher it while we've been sitting here talking.
You're not going to be able to read it.
I can't read it. I want you to tell me what you wanted to talk to me about in that notebook.
Scratch.
Yeah. Go ahead and go over it.
I can read my chicken scratch.
Yeah, that's fine.
So the pay.
Okay.
Some of the people. You're
talking about the pay for the Army.
The pay for the Army.
Okay. Go ahead.
A lot of people will look at the pay chart. So the pay chart is actually DoD wide.
Yeah.
So all the Department of the Army and the other branches go off the same pay chart. For some reason, some people think that the Air Force gets paid more.
Okay.
I don't know why.
I just feel like you're reading all the branches for filth on my show. And if somebody comes and beats me up, I'm going to kick your ass with it.
They can come talk to me.
Listen, because I have enough people that want to fuck me up already, okay?
Well, I'm the same way. Like back like a year ago, right? So like I keep it real, right?
Oh yeah,
and
I can tell.
Some people don't like it that I keep it real with them. Like if I tell them, hey, you're going down the wrong path.
Okay.
And, you know, there was a kid in, I don't know how much time we have, but there was a
kid.
No,
we got all the time in the world. Good.
There was a kid in university that was, I mean, that's one of my schools.
Yeah.
And he was just going down the wrong path. And I told him, I was like, look, he was first generation from Mexico as well. Yeah. His parents didn't even speak English.
Right.
And I told him, I was like, you're going down the wrong path. I was like, do you really think that your parents want you to be doing this messed up stuff?
Yeah.
I use other words, obviously.
Right.
But
you could say what this is an unfiltered show.
Yeah, but
we already got past public affairs.
So yeah,
I mean, you're in uniform. Okay. Sorry.
I told him, I was like, hey, you know, what would your parents think?
Yeah.
About what the things that you're doing.
Right.
And he kind of just had like a light bulb moment, and I'm like,
okay.
I was like, think about all the sacrifices that your parents have gone through to get you where you're at.
Right.
And he ended up graduating, but he wasn't. And when I talked to him, he wasn't graduating.
Okay.
And then after that talk, I'm not saying that it was because of me, but he definitely graduated after.
Oh, good. Okay.
And when I went to the graduation, it was during like the actual coronavirus stuff.
Okay.
They didn't let me in, but I saw him walking in because I was passing out the satchels for the students that actually enlisted.
Right.
He walks up and he's like, I graduated. And I was like, congrats, man.
Yeah.
You know,
I bet you were very proud of him.
I was. I mean, I had been talking to him since he was a junior, but
right. You know, and you know, you could sit here for days. Like me, to me, I feel like, don't you think all the branches serve a common purpose, which is to defend the country? So there's really not one better than the other, would you say?
I like how you're trying to like.
No, I just try not to get my ass kicked. Okay, so I have family members that were in the Army. I have family members that were in the Marines. I have a family member who I believe is in the Air Force. He's in Japan. That Air Force? Okay, I don't know. So I just feel like, to say one branch is better than the other when you guys are all serving a common purpose.
No, for sure.
You know what I mean?
No,
but you're saying like benefits wise, or just in general, or like what do you mean?
All the branches offer the same benefits. You're gonna get the same benefits whatever branch you go to.
Right.
But up front, like I was saying earlier, like how you get to pick your job.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but like before I sign a contract, I like to know what I'm doing. You know. And the other branches, they don't necessarily get a say.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. No, but you were talking about the pay. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
So the pay.
Yeah. How much am I getting paid?
A lot of people think that when they see that number, they're like, well, I get paid way more than that.
Yeah.
On the civilian side.
Right.
What they don't take into account, excuse me, is the free stuff that we get.
Oh, okay.
So like dental, I had like my wisdom teeth removed.
Right.
That's like $2,000 right there.
I know.
I've had a bunch of work done on my teeth.
Okay.
That
can I get Botox?
No. Well, actually, maybe.
Yeah, because I'm trying to look like Joan Rivers when I'm 70. You know what I mean? You know the comedian Joan Rivers?
Uh-huh.
That's what I want to look like. I don't want any wrinkles. Shout out to Dr. Nick Ton.
So I don't know about that, but I do know of some situations where if you feel sensitive about your body.
Yeah.
Then
I'm going to say, to defend my country properly, I need Botox and a Brazilian ass lift. And then I can go out there and really give you guys 110%. But with this flat ass, you know, I don't want the opposition to see me looking less than. You know what I mean? I gotta make sure I look cute, because I can be like the seductive spy. Like that's what you guys are not understanding.
Gotcha.
If I get the Brazilian butt lift and Botox, I can be the one that goes in there and like, you know, the decoy. You know what I mean? Like in that show To Catch a Predator. I can be the I can be the decoy and go to like the general of the you know, opposing country or whatever, and then like really seduce them. If I sleep with them, that's my business. So mind your business, and then y'all do whatever you want after that. If you want to sleep with him,
well, you gotta do what you gotta do. Right?
I just need my Brazilian ass lift first, and my Botox.
So yeah, the pay.
Yeah.
And then
I love that you have a notebook. Go
the
ahead.
experiences. So like,
Okay.
everybody's gonna have a different experience.
Right.
So like myself, I'm logistics. There's a guy in the office that's in the medical field.
Okay.
A lot of his experience that he's gained while in is transferable to the civilian side, to where like you could be like a nursing student, right?
Yeah.
And there's gonna be like 6 or 7 months, maybe even longer.
Okay, got you.
That you have to do like hands-on.
Right.
Right. Well, not only will the Army pay for you to go to nursing school, but you're knocking out your hands-on training during that same time.
Right.
So like a lot of people don't see the benefit of actually joining until after.
Right.
And that's kind of like the message that we're trying to get out.
I kind of want to give a shout out to my cousin's husband, Rashawn. And Rashawn, please don't kill me. Was he in the Marines? I think he was in the Marines. If you weren't in the Marines, I'm sorry. He was in the military. And you talk a lot about the long-term benefits of being in the military. And he helped put my cousin Cindy through nursing school. And they have a beautiful family with a big giant mansion in Long Island. And I love them both to death. So I really just wanted to use this opportunity to give a shout out to Rashawn, who's in the Marines. I don't want him fucking me up because I noticed the benefits of being in the military. You know what I mean? And the benefits for me is because now I know what job I want to do when I go in the Army now. Okay, I want to be the decoy, and I want my Brazilian ass lift. And that's it. Okay, can they do that for me? Because sometimes you guys need
maybe not.
Yeah, like the low key undercovers, right, to kind of go in there and spy. Like,
but those dudes are like super badass. Like,
but I am badass. What are you talking about?
I can't. I mean, okay, yeah.
I'm a badass. Like, I'm gangsters F. Like, stop this. Okay, you're doing like Abby, where you're reading me on my own show, and I don't appreciate everybody doing that these days. Okay?
Well, I mean, that's something that I have to do like on a regular basis.
Is read everybody.
Read. Well, I mean, just to kind of like find the angle.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not necessarily reading it, but that's just my.
Yeah, I have to say, Sergeant First Class Soto was very aggressive over the phone, and I thought, again, I was like, listen, who are you talking to? I thought we were gonna have a whole fight. Like, I thought I was gonna have to go to your house and like swing on you. Now I was gonna lose because I always say that I can lose a fight no matter what. But at the same time, but no, that's what I want to do. What else you got for me here?
And then the last thing I had on.
Okay.
I mean, we've already kind of covered everything else.
Yeah.
But a lot of people think of the Army or any branch as the last option versus using it as a first option. So hindsight 2020, if I could go back in time, back to 2016,
right, when
I first started going to college, I would have joined the Army.
Right.
Main reason being, it would have set me up way better than I am now.
Yeah.
I mean, I've already bought a house.
Right.
I mean, I'm driving a 2021 truck.
Keep going.
I have a lot of things that I'm going for myself.
Sorry,
that I wouldn't have if I wouldn't joined
the Army.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I got you.
I would just say, like, if you're actually thinking about it, don't make it the last option. You make it your first option.
Right. Well, and then that's your position here on the show, is to recruit people. Well, I really just wanted you on the show because I thought it'd be interesting. Your objective obviously is to go ahead and recruit people to be in the Army. Yeah. And so do you normally target like young kids, or do you target people like my age, or what is your main target?
I'll talk to anybody.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, okay. I mean, I'll go through the drive-through, like at Chick-fil-A, for example. Damn. And I'll be like, do you like working here?
Yeah.
I'll be like, not really. Why not?
Not Chick-fil-A. You're talking about McDonald's. Everybody loves to work at Chick-fil-A.
I put somebody in from Chick-fil-A.
Really?
Deadass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, deadass. That's now we're not being formal no more.
Well, I mean, it's not really a customer.
If you want to take your Army uniform off on the show, you really can. So that way you can be more formal, okay, or less formal.
But yeah, so like I'll drive through like.
I love you're just going around.
I go through drive-throughs,
very
right?
focused, yeah.
And I'll be like, do you like working here? And 9 times out of 10,
right,
it'll be
I got you.
Between the ages of 18 and 30.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, no, I don't like working here. And I'll start asking them more questions.
Right.
More questions to try to plug the Army into.
Right.
That's how I get people.
Okay, cool. So, but before we go, I really want to go ahead and just like, you probably can't share a lot of this, right? Okay. But this is just my, what's that word that I'm looking for? My conspiracy theory self, right? Is there a lot of things that you guys are classified to? Like, have you ever seen an alien?
I mean, I'm a big conspiracy theorist.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but no, I've never seen it.
But have you been to Area 51?
Never.
Really?
No. I mean, those are goals right there, though.
Yeah, but what does it take to get in there? Like, who works there, and what's like? I don't understand.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I mean,
did they tell you don't know?
The amount of secrecy that I know is or the level of secrecy that I'm at is just I have a secret clearance and that's it.
Okay, got you. So you can't share any of that juicy stuff.
Oh, I'm saying I don't know.
Yeah. So okay, outside of trying to recruit people for the Army and all this, what does Jose Soto do outside of that? Like, what are you into? You know what I mean? Because surely you're not spending 24/7 recruiting for the Army. Like,
no.
Surely you like to go and you're single, correct? Yeah. Surely you like to go out there and have fun. Like, so what things interest you?
I mean, my weekends are usually pretty packed of doing stuff. So every other weekend, obviously, I have my daughters.
Yeah.
And then the weekends that I don't have them, right. So right now, I'm in the process of actually not moving, but like I got selected for a different position. It's
right.
It's called a warrant officer position.
Right.
So here coming up in June, I'll be going to the school for that.
Yeah.
So I have this big old thick book that I've been studying.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Nice thick book, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, sorry, Soto, I'm really happy that you came on the show. Am I missing anything here? Or?
No.
How was your experience on the public affair?
It was what I expected.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And tell your public affairs person to totally hit me up when he's ready. Okay.
Okay.
He sounded hot over the phone. I just I'm saying.
I mean, sure. Yeah.
Yes. Well, Sergeant Soto, Jose Soto, thank you so much for coming on to the public affair. I really appreciate your time and enlightening us about the Army and its benefits and the military. Thank you so much. And I can't wait to be a part of the Army myself and be the decoy
for sure
and the spy for everything. Make sure you get my Brazilian ass lift. Make sure you get my face lift. Okay, everything. I'm down for everything.
I got you.
To everybody who watched this episode, thank you again so much for all your support. Before we go, I definitely want to give a shout out to a few more of our sponsors of the public affair. This episode is also brought to you by Elite Barbershop with my boy Sid Rodriguez. He's located on Hewitt Drive. You can download the Cut app or call the number on the screen to book. He also has Marcus Guerrero, Chris Reyes, and Santos Cordova over there making you look all cute. I love those guys. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of the public affair. Of course, the Fat Boy Michelada and Botana with my boy Junior Banda. He provides the best micheladas and botana plates for yourself or for a party, locally operated. Make sure you get the best, not the rest, darling. I actually rolled around in a botana tray this past weekend. Super delicious. I love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much, Junior. Of course, to Inspire Roofing and Home Improvement by Joe Olvera. He focuses on commercial and residential roofing, also 25-year and 30-year shingle roofs and all exterior needs. Make sure you call the number on the screen if you need my boy Joe to do any of that work. Definitely the Soto Soccer Academy with Dominic Gutierrez and Ariana Gutierrez, located on Franklin Drive. They offer team, small group, and individual skill training. They also have open play on Friday nights and specialize in soccer training and fitness training with Dominic Gutierrez, Isaac, and London Carrillo. I'm going to be going over there later to work out. I missed this morning, but I'm going to go this evening. Thank you guys so much. And of course, to another one of my new sponsors, Gallito Grillers by Waco Scarface. They provide delicious carne seca on both spicy lemon pepper and regular lemon pepper. You can catch them at local events and occasional Sundays in front of the flea market here in Waco. Make sure you follow them on social media at Gallito Grillers for locations to get your scrumptious carne asada. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Thank you guys again so much for all your support. Make sure you subscribe to this page, youtube.com/The Public Affair. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Facebook at The Public Affair. Again, thank you to Sergeant First Class Soto. I said that right? Yep, I'm trying to say it right. Okay. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for coming onto the show and providing something different. I really appreciate it. And thank you for watching the show too. I'm very grateful. Again, thank you all. I love you so much. And don't forget, darling, to always keep it between us.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.
Are you a podcaster? Let's talk podcast hosting. Are you tired of your current podcast host? Need real support in a community that gets it? At Rogue Media Network, we offer top-tier podcast hosting services to help you thrive. From hosting and distribution to dedicated support, we've got you covered. Starting as low as $25 a month. Join our community of passionate podcasters today. Contact us at hello@roguemedianetwork.com.